Hey beer and brew fans, and welcome to Something About Beer. Today it's brew day and we're doing a SMaSH IPA with Otter and El Dorado. So let's get into it. So I'm filling my brew kettle with my mash water, but I'm doing it rather gently. I have read quite a lot about oxygen in the water that survives the boil and the fermentation, etc. The Lodo folks have written quite a lot about that actually, and there's a lot of logic to it. So if you can reduce the amount of oxygen you're putting in your process, your liquids, your waters, etc., across the entire process, then it reduces the risk of oxidation in general. So I'm going to give that a go and see if that has a perceptible impact on my beer. So here's what I call the geek station. It's got all of my water additions, calcium sulfate and some calcium chloride as well, some Brutan B, a little bit of citric acid to bring the pH down, various measurement equipment, weighing equipment, etc. I'm also going to calibrate my pH meter as well this morning. It's not in the usual place. I usually have my geek station over here. However, as you can see, I have some loveliness taking up this station. So I have a crate of Westvleteren 12 and a crate of Westvleteren 8 sat there that I brought back from a trip to Belgium recently. Anyway, let's get on with it. So it's time for the salt additions now. We need 3.1 of calcium chloride flakes. That's 3.1 grams. Doesn't have to be really absolutely precise, but that should do. Best to be close than not. Just reset that. And then we need 8.1 of gypsum, calcium sulfate. I almost put Brutan B in there. not 8.1 grams of Brutan B. That would not be good. There we are, that should do. So here's my Otter, uncrushed. Had it in here for about, I guess about 9 months now. It's absolutely fine. This is a really good container actually. Seals it up really well. So time to weigh out the grain. We need 5 kilos of Otter today. Bang on. This should make a beer around 6%. I've gone for a high fermentability mash, so slightly lower temperature, around 65 to 66 degrees from memory. That should give me quite a lot of fermentable sugars with that 5 kilos here. So it's time to grind the grain. The hopper here holds about 1 kilo of grain, and I can get through it in about 20 seconds, 20 to 30 seconds, something like that. So this is really quick. It's a very good grain crush, actually, a grain mill. Very impressed with it. So here's the grist. Nice fine crush on it. Just crack those kernels open really nice. You can see all of the starch there. They have it on level 4 on the grinder. Seems to work really well. Okay, so it's time to mash in now. We have all the salts in the water, so we're ready to go. We've got the grain, the grist all crushed. It's all nice and crushed up. You can see I'm using a bag here. I do actually have a grain basket in here as well, but I have found on occasion that some of the grain gets through the filters and into the pump, and sometimes clogs the pump, and it's a real pain to unclog, particularly when it's full of hot mash or hot wort. So I just put the bag in there for insurance. It has no impact on the beer at all, no impact on the efficiency of the mash or anything like that. So just a little bit of insurance to make the brew day a little bit easier, really, and avoid one or two issues that I've encountered over the years. I'm going to be mashing here at about 65C, so fairly lowish, to get some nice fermentable sugars out of the grain. Hopefully end up with a beer around 6%, if my mash efficiency is good, and my yeast attenuates to expectations. So we'll see. One important thing to remember, of course, is once you're at your strike temperature, to adjust your temperature to your mash temperature. I've forgotten that a couple of times actually, so mashed obviously higher than I should have done. I made beer. It was okay. It was just lower in alcohol than expected, a little bit sweeter, of course, but it still was okay beer, but not as expected. So I always have a little note to self when I'm about to mash in, to turn down the temperature to the mash temperature. So we're all mashed in. We're now recirculating the wort through the grist. I'll give that 15 minutes or so and then take a pH reading. The boil is over, so it's now time to sparge. The handy thing about these Brewzillas is that you have these legs here, these feet, that means you can lift the grain basket part way out, so the wort drains through into the kettle. You can probably hear it, which is really handy because it's quite heavy when you're lifting it out. So it's good to let that just drain on the first set of legs there for a few minutes before you start sparging or messing about with anything else, because it's easy then to lift up as well. I use a pretty rudimentary sparge method, just batch sparging, pouring water over the grain at about 75-80 degrees C. The first couple of jugs I actually pour over the bag to try and rinse the sugars from the bag itself before putting the bag over the edges of the grain basket. That reduces the amount of let's say sugar that gets dripping down the side of the kettle, which can get obviously all sticky and horrible. On to the boil now. We're just starting there. Hopefully we won't have a problem with the hot break. And the boil started. The boil is finished and we're now chilling. I'm going to chill it down to 80 degrees and then I am going to add the hops. Time to add the hops into the whirlpool. There's 100 grams of El Dorado going in. We're slightly below 80 degrees, but that should warm back up. So the hops are in and I've got the recirc pump on. I like to recirculate through the hops. so it really keeps it moving and keeps it amalgamated. You just got to watch though, you've got to keep an eye on it because that does rise pretty quickly, but it's really working. The smell is amazing coming from these El Dorado hops. I just hope all that lovely goodness survives through to the final beer. So here we are transferring the wort into the fermentation vessel. It's looking quite nice colour. Golden, quite a golden colour. Yeah, very happy with that so far. Time to pitch the yeast. So it's all put to bed, ready for the fermentation. We've got the gas tube in here, so that's going to pressurize the keg, which is full of sanitizer, and then push the sanitizer out through the liquid post into the bucket, and then we're going to have a clean, sanitized, oxygen-free keg to transfer the beer into. So just looking at my post brew day stats. Numbers more or less hit most of my numbers again, which is good. There was a slight issue with the pH. I was aiming for 5.35 and I got 5.10. I had calibrated the pH meter today, so I'm assuming I just overshot a little bit with the lactic acid. Maybe the calculator in my app is not quite accurate, so need to keep an eye on that. Maybe it was the pH of the base water. I have that programmed in my app, but I didn't check it today, so probably that was slightly lower than what's in the app, maybe. But 5.1 is still okay, I think. I don't think it's going to ruin the beer at all. Mash efficiency was down a little bit. It was 71%. Usually I'm at 75 to 80, so that was slightly down. My brew house efficiency was 77%, which is slightly up actually, so I got a little bit more out of volume out of the brew than I was expecting. So we're on track to get a 5.9% beer. Target was 6.2, so as long as the yeast does its thing and attenuates down to what it should do, then we'll get a beer of around 6%, which I'm very, very happy with. Yeah, so that's it really. I'm just doing the cleanup now, and then that's me done for today. So thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you watching. If you like what you see here at Something About Beer, please give us a like, a share, a subscription. Ring that bell to alert you to all of the other videos and content that I put out as well. So until next time, cheers.
If you like what we're doing here at Something About Beer, please subscribe and give the video a like. It really does help the channel out a lot. And don't forget to ring that bell so that you're alerted to new content we put out.